JT Kenny, 18 pounds today, man. Fantastic day for you, considering, I don't know how to like put this kindly, but
I hate Beaver Lake.
Yeah, it's not good.
I do. No, I hate it. Yeah, there's no. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. No, but I mean, you know, I had a good day today, and it was. I had a decent practice, and I've learned a lot from some of the guys that are buddies of mine that do well on this lake. Brian Thrift and Andy Morgan. I'm always plucking their brains, even though I don't even want to talk about this lake. But you know, I'm always plucking their brains and picking little pieces that that from them. And God, after coming here for 13 years or whatever it's been, finally maybe starting to put a little bit together. But I know how this lake is, man. I could go out there and zero tomorrow. Sure. But and I know that. I'm fully well aware of that. But I had a pretty good day today. But I really didn't catch that many fish today. But I caught good ones.
How many did you catch?
I caught about 10, probably 10 keepers. And it wasn't like all day long, just racking. No, I mean, I caught 10, and I caught probably 4 of them before 9 o'clock, and then just the rest of them just spread out throughout the day. So, don't get me wrong, it was a good day, but I know I could very easily, not do very well tomorrow. So I'm going to keep an open mind, and I got some other stuff in the back of my back pocket that I was going to go to this afternoon after I did what I did all day today in the morning, and I didn't go to it at all today. So I feel like I got a little bit of stuff left over, and I will be ready to change at any moment, and I think that's one of the things that I haven't done on this lake before. So I think I got that going. I'm not going to be one-minded and I caught 18 pounds yesterday, so I have to do that all day again today. Absolutely not. And another thing too, I will not go back any place tomorrow where I caught fish or even fish today. No way. I've learned that about this lake.
I was going to say Beaver's kind of notorious for that.
Yep, hard-headed. I've always been before, and I'm not doing that this time. No way. I'll fish the same type of cover.
Right,
and stuff.
The pattern or whatever.
Right, the same pattern, but I will not go back any place that I went today. Absolutely not.
The other big thing for you today, you had a monster of a kicker.
Yeah.
Were you in practice? Did you get the feeling? I mean, did you catch any, 6-pounders or 5-pounders?
No. I caught some nice ones. Nice ones for Beaver.
Like
3 and a half, 4. Yeah, I caught probably a 4-pound class fish every day, and I had a 4-pounder today to go with that 6-pounder. So, but no, I didn't expect to catch any. That's just luck catching a great big one like that. But my other 4 were still good fish. So it's a good pattern to be on. But like I said, if it's not after an hour or 2 tomorrow, it's not working. Jake's out. I'm going doing something else because I'm not getting stuck like I've got here at Beaver before.
Sure. Are you targeting mainly largemouths?
Well, I put anything that bites in the live well, and it's kind of funny that some of I'm targeting what I consider largemouth areas, but in practice I caught some decent spots. I caught a couple of smallmouth, so I'm not saying it's only largemouth, but I did weigh in all largemouth today.
Do you think this time around the dirty water is playing kind of to your hand?
Honestly, I think I'm just learning a little bit more about the lake. What it is doing for the pattern I'm running, it's giving you more area, and I think the guys that are running similar type patterns, there's that water color is now a lot bigger.
Right.
So it allows us to spread out a little bit more, and I really think that probably does have something to do with it, because I didn't really see that many boats today, and not really that many boats doing what I was doing. I'm sure other guys are. There's no doubt about it. But it wasn't like pulling in, somebody's on that bank and somebody's on that bank, and pretty much I was just pulling in there and right there's where I want to fish, and just go down through there and catch one or don't, and never caught any more than one in any area. It's like that one that pulls up the feed. You go through there and you catch him, and that's it, because it's Beaver. You got him. That was the one.
That's his zone, yeah.
Yeah, you got him, and you keep going. So it's interesting.
Well, right on, JT. Fantastic day, man. Congratulations again. We'll see what you can do tomorrow.
Thanks, buddy.
Quaker State Pro Jimmy Houston. Man, you caught him today. You had a great day. And if I had to guess, were they biting a spinnerbait?
They were biting a spinnerbait, and it was a good day. This lake is really hard right now. A couple of weeks ago, from what everybody's saying, there was tremendous stringers of fish coming in, 17, 18 pounds, not even getting into money in some of the tournaments. The water was a lot dirty and it was a lot higher, and I guess the fish were really biting. And there's still a lot of good fish to be caught, but golly, it's hard to get in a bite. I mean, it really is. In the 3 days practice fishing daylight till dark, I caught 13 keepers, 5, 5, and 3, and only 7 keepers today, and they just happen to be the right ones. I mean,
Sure.
I caught some good fish in practice, so you know, I am fishing the right way to catch big fish, but it's really hard to get a bite. I probably went at one period 3 hours today without a single bite, fishing the right water, and you know, not the same places, but the right type water and the right pattern and all of that. And we really got 2 different distinct patterns going, and and you know, the bigger fish seem to be on the pattern that is the most difficult to get a bite. With that, go figure, you know, that's the way it is. But hopefully, you know, hopefully, you know, we can get a good start in the morning. We got an early start. Hopefully, we can get a good start. And the later in the day has been way better for me in practice. But this morning I caught 3 pretty early. I had 4 by 9 o'clock, and only caught 3 more all day. So that'll just tell you something. But you never know. I mean, hopefully, right now there are fish moving into the places where I want to fish, and hopefully it's going to stay warm enough for them to stay there. One of the things that's been happening is fish have been moving in late in the evening, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock, and then they get real cold at night and they move out by daylight, and so there's not any fish there. But hopefully they stay. Once they stay, then you can catch them, and if that happens, and it's due for a huge bunch of fish to move in.
Sure.
And if that happens, a lot of people will catch good strings, and hopefully, I'd just be tickled to death to get 5 keeper bites again tomorrow. I'll be totally honest. And you can't hardly duplicate a 17-pound stringer on Beaver.
It's tough.
I mean, it's really difficult to do, and there'll be some other people catch 17, 18 pounds tomorrow. It probably won't be, who is leading anyway? Somebody.
JT Kenny.
JT, that's right.
Yeah.
It probably won't be JT and I that catch the 17 or 18 pounds tomorrow, but I'm sure JT, just like me, he'd be real happy with 5 fish, and we'll go from there, because if you get to keep playing, it could happen again in 4 days, but to do it 2 days in a row is almost impossible. But you never know, you know. God blesses me and just drops one out of heaven every now and then, and if he drops a couple of the right ones, you could get to 17 again.
Well, and you had a good kicker today too, which is another good thing.
That 512 was a great fish, and I pulled into a place, and there were some guys on the dock feeding some bluegill on the other side of this bay I pulled into, and they said, we're down here feeding the bluegill, and I said, well, I need to feed this spinnerbait to a 5-pound fish, what I need to be, and they said, we'd like that. That'd be a lot of fun to watch you catch that. 2 casts later, that 512 bit, and I said, well, there he is right there, and they started hollering, carrying on, and it was a lot of fun for them, but a lot more fun for me to catch that 512, and I thought he was about a 5-pounder. I didn't look at him real good when I caught him, but he was really a nice fish, and that's a big bonus. That's like catching 2 or 3 fish right there.
Yeah.
And when you've got 4 fish to go with it, it really is good. So it was a great day. I had a lot of fun out there, and the Lord blessed me with a nice sack of fish, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. We're going to have a lot of fun out there. I know that. Kind of isolated a few things down a little bit better. So hopefully I know something, but the fish proved me wrong a lot on that.
Well, that was the last thing I wanted to leave you with is, you know, you mentioned a couple different patterns. Are these like specific little areas you're hitting, or are they longer stretches of water that you can really just
They're
put
relatively small areas, you know, relatively small stretches of banks, you know, 100, 150 yard stretches, and I'm not making any big long stretches of bank. I'm picking out certain specific things, 2 distinctly different patterns, both with the same bait, and both at different depths, which is kind of amazing. But the 2 bigger fish, and one of them came right at the end of the day, which was really, really nice, and I thought it was about a 2.5 pounder, and I swung it in. I said, holy cow, that's almost a 4 pounder, probably 312 or 14, I imagine, and it was on the same pattern where I caught the 512. So you never know. I mean, but again, a guy could do that all day and not get a bite doing it, and I'm not going to take that chance. I'm going to, you know, hopefully the morning will be good again. This morning was just a perfect deal. You know, 3 fish in the first place I turned the motor off. So that's really hard to do on Beaver. I'm telling you, it's hard to do. It's a great lake. It's fun to fish. So
it is. You get out there tomorrow, you catch some fish, and we'll see how you do, Jimmy. Thank you very much.
I hope so. Thank you.
All right, Kurt Mitchell, 17-8 today. Fantastic job. One thing we've seen with Beaver Lake over the years is sometimes not having experience on the lake pays off, and that was your case today, right?
Absolutely. I didn't even want, for this tournament, I didn't even watch any videos on, you know, the previous Beaver Lake tournament, because I didn't want to know. You know, I came here and everybody was talking about how muddy it is, and when I started fishing, I didn't even know it was muddy. I thought it was that's how it always was, but But yeah, I'm glad I didn't do any research or anything, because I think it would have messed me up in the long run.
Sure, absolutely. When like this dirtier water, does that play to more of your strength?
Absolutely.
Do you prefer it that way?
Absolutely. I fish in Delaware, and Delaware is all shallow water, it's real horrible fishing for the most part. And Beaver Lake fits it perfectly.
Tell me about a lot of our top bags today are coming with guys targeting largemouths. Is that your plan?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
100%.
And also, you know, we hear this time and time again, but Beaver's a really good pattern lake. Is that the program you're doing too?
Oh, yeah.
Some sort of pattern?
Yes. There was a couple guys in the same area I was in, but it's pretty specific what I'm doing there, and I was able to go behind people and catch some fish. And
okay.
So it's real specific.
Do you feel like most of these fish are pre-spawn?
Yeah. I caught a 4-pounder today that was post-spawn, which that was the first one I've caught the whole time. I've seen some fish on beds and whatnot. I got 2 fish that are on beds right now. I'll probably catch them tomorrow. Try to catch them tomorrow.
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I think most of them are pre-spawn. Some are spawning. Very few post-spawn. But like I said, I did catch one today that was post-spawn. That was the first one I've caught all week.
All right. How much water? Did you have a lot of traffic in the areas you were fishing today? A lot of other boat company?
Probably 5 other boats and maybe a 5-mile stretch there.
That's not terrible.
No, I was pretty happy about it. I thought it'd be a lot more than that, but there wasn't. So.
And probably the most important question: do you have fresh water to run tomorrow?
Yes, I got. Today I hit like 4 areas, and then after I had about 14 pounds, I went to fishing new water, trying to find some more stuff, and then called up 2-3 pounders there, and then I got about 2 or 3 more spots that I haven't even hit yet. So.
But you feel confident enough that the pattern you're running is something you can replicate across a decent chunk of this lake right now?
Yeah, I do. We'll find out tomorrow, I guess.
Final thing, we haven't really talked about baits right now, and we don't need to go in depth. But is it something, a lot of guys at the beginning of this tournament in practice were saying, like the moving bait bite, crankbaits, spinner baits, stuff like that would play. Is that the bandwagon you're on?
In the mornings, yeah. But after that, I got to slow down a lot.
Okay. So you kind of do have a 1-2 punch going for your areas.
Yep.
Well, right on, man. Kurt, congrats again.
Thank you.
We'll see how you rack it up tomorrow.
All right, sounds good.
Jeff Sprague having a fantastic season so far, and you're keeping it going here at Beaver, which is kind of funny because normally Beaver Lake not so kind to you. What was different for you today?
We've had the water here muddy up, which really brings the largemouth into play. This lake has never really played for me before because of the clarity.
Sure.
And the river, everybody knows, doesn't last long because everybody picks those fish off, the resident type fish. Well, this lake is dirty all the way down almost to mid-lake, so it allows a lot of these largemouth that we've never fished for to be up in an area to where we can fish for them.
Right.
So for a guy like me to capitalize on that and to cover a bunch of water and to be able to hit some of those areas and I feel like those largemouth just get to be largemouth for once in their life,
Yeah, they do.
And they get to live shallow. So for just a short period of time, and hopefully I can capitalize on that. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do here.
One of the key things we've seen over the years with Beaver is it's not really, you're not going to find a certain spot, that you're going to win the tournament off or it's going to carry you to the top 10. It's having a handful of areas. Today, how much of the stuff you found did you actually tap into?
I didn't have to tap a whole lot. I'm pretty lucky. I actually hit 2 or 3 of my key stretches and then wound up picking up a good fish here, a good fish there, and I didn't really have to pound on it too much. So I don't know how that's going to affect. I don't know if other guys went in behind me. These fish are pretty easy to catch when you get around them. So if guys went in and hit those stretches, it could put me back to square one tomorrow. I'll just have to go to the drawing board. But I do have, felt like I had quite a few areas that I didn't get to capitalize on today, and maybe I can keep them up my sleeves and go fish for them tomorrow.
Okay. To you, and it's kind of hard to tell in the dirty water situation, but does it seem like are these spawning fish you can't see, or are they pre-spawners?
Yeah, I'm not catching spawners yet. I'm catching all pre-spawners, I think. They're all setting up to go to where they need to be doing their thing, and I really enjoy fishing for them like that. I think I understand them a little bit, so I just try to hit those key areas and those key points and just keep on moving. Don't spend a lot of time in an area for me has been key. So I just got to keep my head down and see if I can go find some tomorrow.
Is there a bite window for you at all? Because some guys today were talking about the lack of wind we had this morning shut a lot of guys down, you know, that were maybe trying to crank or something like that. Did you catch them any better at any point in time?
You know, actually, I thought I was going to catch them better in the afternoon, and wound up catching them pretty early this morning.
Oh.
You know, when it was calm. So I was a little, you know, I was a little thrown off by that, if you will, because normally when the wind picks up just a hair on beaver, you can catch them a little bit better.
Game on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I kind of tried to play that card a little, and it just didn't work for me. So that's okay. I didn't have to, you know, I didn't have to go too terribly far and too terribly hard looking to try to pick up a few. So we'll just go back to it again tomorrow and just start looking at some other stuff that I didn't get to look at today and see if we can't pick up another few of them, and hopefully it carries us on a little bit.
Right on, man. Well, good luck to you, Jeff.
Hey,
we'll let you get rolling.
Thank you guys very much. Appreciate it.
All right, we're here, David Dudley, 15 pounds today, and I mean, you kind of know a thing or two about Beaver Lake. You've kind of won here before, a lot of top 10s. How did it shake out this time around for you?
Today was a good day, you know. I was pretty confident coming in it, but not quite as confident as I normally am, because the first couple days of practice, the wind was and the weather was all great for fishing beaver, but I looked at the long-term forecast and I didn't want to fish around a little bit and catch a bunch of liars. So
sure.
I was had mixed confidence going out there today, but happy with what I come in with.
We heard a lot from guys in pre-practice. You know, there's some fish to be found on beds down on the lower end of the lake or in the cleaner water, and there's also a lot of pre-spawn fish. Did you target lean more on one of those than the other?
Yeah, I probably caught, let me think. 2 of the 3 come sight fishing, and the others come just, you know, fishing around. So it's a mix of it, but they're about to bust wide open. I don't think they've made that enormous push yet,
okay.
But we're within a day or 2 of them things getting crazy. Yeah, I can't wait.
I think one of the reasons you do so well on beaver, and you mentioned a little bit ago in an interview, is that you're able to, you know, you just got to fish the conditions, right? You wake up tomorrow and you say, this is what it's happening, this is what I'm going to do.
Beaver Lake is one of the best lakes in the States, but it is so weather-orientated lake, so really you have to clean your slate every day. And when you wake up in the morning, you look at the hourly forecast and say, okay, it's going to be cloudy, it's going to be windy, it's going to be rainy, and you have to let the weather dictate how you fish out here. Because if you get stubborn-headed and put bull nose one way of fishing out here on this lake, because the weather is what throws the curve ball
Sure.
in this. Yeah.
Was it a majority largemouth, smallmouth spots? Did it lean one way or another for you?
I had 2 smallmouth and 3 largemouth, but I caught a mixture of spots too. And you know, we're at a good time of year. They're biting, and I think every species biting on this lake. That's a great thing about this lake. When you set the hook, it's like you never know what's coming up.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, we'll let you get going. You got to charge some batteries, so we'll let you get rolling. Good luck tomorrow, David.
Thank you.